Welcome all of you to my channel. Today we are going to talk about The Beguiled, a history, thriller, war movie released in 2017. And I hope that you will definitely like the story of this movie. The story is set during the Civil War, which lasted from 1861 to 1865. Miss Julia ran a girls' school in Virginia during the war. Now, due to the war, by 1864 most of the students, teachers, and servants had left the area. And currently Miss Julia was living there with 5 students and a teacher, Brandy. Now one day a student named Amy goes to the forest to collect mushrooms for cooking. Then suddenly she sees someone behind the tree. He was Johnny McBurney, a Union Army captain, and he escaped from there in an injured condition during the fight. Now, for Amy, he was an enemy soldier, but showing goodness, she brings him to her school. And as soon as he reaches there, he falls unconscious. Now here a discussion started on whether they should help the enemy soldier or not, because they were all girls, and this can be very risky. Some of those girls say that he should be handed over to our army as a prisoner. Now on this, Miss Julia asks to hang a blue cloth on the door, which means the army would know that there is some danger inside, or maybe they have got hold of something that shouldn't be there. This would have resulted in the army arresting him from there and taking him away, and then they can treat them as wish. But Miss Julia says that we should follow our Christian religion, and one must help an injured person. And after much thought, Miss Julia decides to help him. Johnny is picked up and taken inside, where Miss Julia bandages his injured leg by stitching it. Then he is locked in a room, after which everyone promises each other that they will help him first, and then think what to do with it. Now because Johnny was a strong young man, so he becomes the center of attraction among all those girls. Now every girl wanted to go to him and wanted to see him, but Miss Julia strongly forbids anyone from going near him. Within this time, the patrolling army passes from there, and seeing them, Miss Julia goes to meet them, but here she does not tell them anything about Johnny. Now Johnny regains consciousness in the morning, and all the girls try to make him happy in their own way. Someone would bring gifts for her, someone would show her the jewelry she was wearing, and someone would make him a nice dinner. Now all the girls started fighting with each other to get his affection. The next day, Miss Julia comes to meet John, where during the conversation, Johnny realizes that Miss Julia is a bit of a strict type of person. And since she is the only one who has the last word in the house, Johnny begins to trap her in his words. Now a student named Angel comes there for help, but Miss Julia strictly tells her and the other girls to stay away from that room, because she did not want anyone else other than her to come near that room. After which Miss Brandy brings some stuff for Johnny, and Johnny started entrapping him in his words. Johnny praises him a lot, now because Brandy had been away from men for a long time, so wooing her was an easy task for Johnny. Johnny traps her with his sweet talk, and Brandy gets impressed by him as well. Now one night during prayer, Angel comes to meet Johnny on the pretext of going to the bathroom, and then both of them come closer to each other, but soon Angel comes down from there and joins the prayer. Now after some time, we see smoke rising from across the forest, which was an indication that the war was still on. Now during dinner, all the girls decide to do something entertaining for Johnny, so that he can feel better. Everyone goes to Johnny's room, where Jane plays music, and the rest of the girls sing a song. Then suddenly, there is a knock on the door, and everyone gets scared. When Miss Julia goes to see, there were the same patrolling soldiers again, who came to ensure whether everything is okay or not. And after some time, they leave from there, after which Miss Julia enjoys a drink alone with Johnny, and both of them talk about some things. There Johnny realizes that Miss Julia is a strong woman, and if he has to stay in this house for a few days, so he will have to trap Miss Julia in his trap soon. Johnny does exactly that. Now Johnny's health had become better than before, and he started helping with the work there. Johnny also started enjoying doing garden work. Now another reason for this was that he did not want to go from there, especially he doesn't want to go back to the ongoing war. And we come to know about this when Miss Julia comes to see him, and it says that now you are fine so you can go back in the next few days. But Johnny says that he has no place to go, and if possible, he will work here in the garden. But Miss Julia does not agree, and asks him to leave from there. Now the biggest question before Johnny was how to live there. He tells Miss Brandy that he loves her, and he cannot live his life without her. He doesn't like this war, etc. He just wants to live a simple life. Now hearing this, Miss Brandy becomes very happy, and invites Johnny to dinner that night. There was an atmosphere of celebration all around, and all the girls were very happy. They all tried to impress Johnny by wearing nice clothes and jewelry. After dinner, Johnny tells Brandy that he will come to her room at night. Now at night, Miss Brandy was waiting for Johnny, but even after a long time he does not come. Hearing the noise of the girls in the adjacent room, Miss Brandy goes to quiet them, but there she sees Angel with Johnny. Now Miss Brandy was red with anger. Johnny tries to reason with him, but she pushes him away angrily, due to which Johnny slips and falls down the stairs, and his already injured leg gets broken, and he started bleeding profusely. Now here Miss Julia says that she is not a surgeon who can fix his broken leg, but the only way to save him is to amputate his leg. Because Johnny could die due to excessive bleeding, he had to take a decision quickly, and ultimately to save Johnny's life, Miss Julia cuts off his leg. Now the next morning when John regains consciousness, so seeing his severed leg he screams a lot. He was very angry at Julia. He screams a lot in pain, due to which he is locked in the same room. After calming down, Angel gathers courage and comes to check on Johnny, but Johnny threatens Angel by abusing him. Angel gets scared, and she tells Miss Julia that we should hand him over to the army, keeping our safety in mind. While they were still talking, Johnny arrives there, and he vents his anger by shouting at everyone. Miss Julia asks Amy to tie a blue cloth on the door, so that the army becomes aware of the danger there. But Johnny sees him doing this. He threatens everyone at gunpoint and says that such a mistake should be repeated, then they will have to sacrifice their lives. Now here Miss Brandy goes after Johnny, and then both of them share a private moment. Meanwhile, Johnny started becoming a thorn in everyone's eyes, and Miss Julia was thinking about how to deal with this situation. Then a student gives Johnny the idea of killing him, and the plan is made to invite her for dinner, and he will be killed by mixing poison in his favorite mushrooms. So Amy goes into the forest to pick mushrooms, after which dinner is ready. But Miss Brandy had no idea about this plan, and when mushrooms are served to Johnny, so he serves mushrooms to Miss Brandy too. But at the last minute, at a student's suggestion, Miss Brandy doesn't eat the mushroom. Now as soon as Johnny eats mushrooms, within a short while he suffocates and falls to the ground and dies. Finally, Amy hangs the blue cloth on the door, so that the next army contingent that comes can take possession of the dead body. Miss Brandy looks very sad all this time, because she started dreaming of her golden future with Johnny. But now all those dreams were shattered. Everyone leaves Johnny's body outside the door and waits for the army. And this story ends on the scene. So friends, The Beguiled is not just a suspense film. This is a mind game, a war fought not with guns but with thoughts and tactics. Every woman's character has depth in itself. In the end, this movie teaches us that even people who look innocent can do anything if needed. If you liked the story, then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comment whether you found John's death right or wrong. See you with the story of the next new movie. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for staying with this story till the end.